Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Christ is in our midst.
He is and never shall be.
So before we receive the Holy Mysteries, this is like just one little idea, poignant idea concerning the Holy Cross. Many times Christ told his apostles, and just sort of announced it, that the Son of Man will be delivered into the hands of sinful men, and they will kill him. They will crucify him. But on the third day he will rise again. Now he said that little prophecy many times, and he said it in a lot of different ways. But since he said it, that means he knew it. He knew that the end point of his life was the cross. He was waiting and, let's say, moving always. Everything was towards the cross and the resurrection. The cross, the broken and sacrificed body and blood that he was about to give, he knew that was coming. So, now think about it. Every single teaching, every time he opened his mouth and taught, every time he touched someone to heal them, every time he said like a nice benevolent word to a stranger that he met somewhere, all of that was with the knowledge that he was going to the cross. He was living for the cross. That's why he came. To live, to die, and to rise again. So, that means something significant for us. When we're going through our daily life, day after day, minute after minute, we have a lot of details. There's a lot of little things happening all the time. You, my dears, and I are going to the cross. It's a beautiful thing. If you have that as your end goal, to die for Christ, so that you can rise with Christ. If you have that as your end goal, everything about this life will make sense. Except the things which don't make sense. And then you get rid of those things. This is the beginning and the end point of all of our lives. If Christ knew that he was going to give everything at the end, and still he lived, intensely with people, with a lot of love, with a lot of sharing, with a lot of, deep intimacy, you could even say. That's us. Who are we not to do that? Not to live like that. Not to have that hope that there's, at the end of this big journey for me, across, we have that every day, actually. We live that every day. And a resurrection. And, God willing, an ascension to the new life, to the kingdom of heaven. That's what we live for. That's how we live. That's how you take this moment. We say oftentimes, Orthodox Christians live from Holy Communion to Holy Communion. We live for it. We crave it. Like it's our lifeblood from one Eucharist to the next. But a big part of that, if you know like what this really is, it's a cross. It's the broken body and spilled blood of Christ that we're partaking of right now. So if you know that, you'll know that we also live from disaster to disaster in this life. And how refreshing is that? From one broken thing in this world, whether it be inside of us or outside of us or with other people or with the world, or we live from one crash to the next. But we live it this way, Eucharistically. And we live it this way, knowing beyond this former instrument of death and torture is now life and resurrection. That gives us our way of life. That's our whole hope. That's our whole joy, right? So, the reason I say these few words right now is because, yes, you have prepared and you are living for this next Eucharist, this one right now, but you're living it, God willing, I hope, in a sacrificial way. In a way which says, yes, I don't deny my own cross. Lord, if I can carry that cross and embrace it and kiss it the way you did, let me be worthy of that. Let me live that way. So if you want to live like Christ, you have to see ahead of you the cross. You have to see ahead of you the sacrifice that it's going to take. You know what the ultimate is? When you leave this life, everybody will have that ultimate sacrifice. And you know why we say ultimate? Because for many people, this is all they know. They know nothing beyond everything they've ever known in this world. So when we step into the next life, that's what we're living for. And that, according to the human thinking, is a cross. It's a big cross. It's foolishness, like St. Paul says, for the world. It's foolishness or it's a scandal. There should be no such thing for us. We shouldn't ever have to do that. Well, guess what? We will do that. We will do that with joy and with love, and we will receive very tenderly the precious and holy body and blood of Christ spilled on that very cross. And then we'll fall in the dust before that holy cross, because that is our life. We see it ahead of us. We see it in our life right now, and we certainly see it. If you need a good reminder or a good teaching, look in the past. Look in your own life yesterday, or last year, or your whole former life, whatever. You see the cross everywhere. That's what will give you meaning. You transfigure that suffering, that toil, that earthly struggle, and you, my friends, will have the joy of the resurrection, which lies beyond this, a foretaste of which you will have right now.